Okay, so today's webinar will be on building automation systems. I'm Maria Lamoni, our sales manager, and I also have Robert here from our technical support department. I'm going to be introducing building automation systems, and Robert will show an online demonstration of our building automation application with Indusoft SCADA software later in our webinar. If you have any questions, please type them into the chat box at any time, and we will answer them at the end of the meeting. You may want to tie different operations together into one central control and monitoring system within a building. A building controlled by a building automation system is often referred to as a smart building. You may want the heating, ventilation, and air conditioning system to turn on and off based on temperature conditions during certain time periods. To save energy, you may want lighting to be triggered by motion sensors to keep logs of lighting usage. You may want to control and monitor the status of elevators. Sprinkler and fire protection can help prevent building damage and can help to alert fire protection services about fires. Access control systems can ensure only proper personnel can enter restricted areas. Here is an example of a small building automation system. The IR310RM in the center on the left is a 10-channel high-powered relay module that is designed for controlling the power of devices. The relay module can switch up to 10 amp loads. There are normally open, normally closed switches and protection circuits for each channel. The relays can be controlled independently or sequentially by serial communication over Modbus RTU protocol, as well as through wireless infrared remote control. A control program in a programmable automation controller or touchscreen controller can be used to automate various equipment. The touchscreen interface can be used to turn the equipment on and off through the IR210 IR Learning Remote module, which can store up to 176 IR commands. A web server in the WP8441 Programmable Automation Controller and a Wi-Fi router can be used to publish the application to a web page, which could allow for a smartphone to control various equipment. Touchscreen controllers can also be used to control various equipment. Industrial building automation systems may include boiler controllers, package control units, VAV, variable air volume boxes, PLCs, lighting controllers, BACnet, and lawn talk devices. A primary bus is often used for higher level controllers or programmable logic controllers, and secondary buses may be used for input and output devices and user interfaces. Open standard Zigbee wireless mesh networks are often used in building automation systems. Building automation SCADA systems can show the status of large or small systems on computer screens. WP8441 is a WinPack programmable automation controller with the Windows CE.NET 5.0 operating system. It has 4 I/O slots for cartridge-based I/O or communication modules. WP8441 can run multiple programs at one time and can also be used for data logging. It can be used to control and monitor building automation systems. It supports remote management and has an HTTP server, so you can publish web pages for control and monitoring through the web, which can be accessible through smartphones. You can also make phone apps that can work on smartphones for use with PAC controllers through web servers. Our WinPack controllers come with free eLogger configurable control and monitoring software, which can be used to create a simple building automation system. It comes with HMI graphics and objects library, which can be used to show the status of windows and doors, entry access logging, and to control lights and air conditioners. TPD433 is a 4.3-inch touchscreen PLC with Ethernet, RS485, USB ports, and a real-time clock. It supports Modbus RTU and Modbus TCP protocols and comes with free HMI Works, C language, and ladder logic programming development software. It can be used together with the WinPack automation controller and you can configure buttons to manually turn equipment like lights and air conditioners on or off. They also offer control capabilities and have a real-time clock, so you could use the touchpads as the main controller, which could automate a building based on a schedule. TPD283U has an Ethernet port and a 2.8-inch touchscreen. It can fit in regular electrical wall mount outlets and can be used to replace light switches. It has a USB port for uploading programs. It can be powered with a 10 to 30 VDC power input or with power over Ethernet sourcing equipment. HMI Works development software supports ladder logic and C-language programming. It has a built-in graphics library and includes many widgets including shapes, text, pictures, lines, buttons, checkboxes, timers, and labels. We also provide many demo programs, and if you're working on a very simple project, we can likely help you with the simple program. This easy-to-use development software shortens development time and allows you to quickly and easily set up a building automation system. IR310RM is an IR-controlled 10-channel high-power relay module communicable over RS-232 and RS-485. It allows you to trigger relay outputs to turn infrared devices on and off. It can switch up to 10 amp loads, normally open and normally closed switches, and protection circuits are provided for each channel. They support operating temperatures from -25 to 75 C. It supports IR commands for relay control. It supports 64 custom commands, and 32 commands are built in. To set it up, you power it up with the FRA05 S12SU power supply and connect the IR SH2251-5 to the IR output jack. Then you set up the rotary and dip switches based on the equipment you're going to be interfacing with. IR Utility is a free configuration utility that you can use to set it up and for testing. It supports Modbus RTU commands, so Modbus master devices can be used to control and configure it. You can mount it on a rack or on a wall. IR210 is an infrared to Modbus learning remote that can convert Modbus RTU to infrared. You can use it to let Modbus master devices like PCs, PLCs, and touchscreen controllers control infrared devices like projectors, air conditioners, automatic curtains, and televisions. Distributed system monitoring applications often require digital input modules for monitoring the state of the switch used in control logic. When one toggles a light switch from off to on, the electric current will change. The switch state may remain constant for minutes to hours. Control programs that constantly poll the digital input state act accordingly depending on the status of the digital input. If a change is detected in the switch output for the digital input module, as in general indoor lighting, the switch maintains its state for a considerable time. You can use digital input modules and touchpads to turn lights on and off. Power meters can be used for monitoring energy consumption. You can display the information on touchscreen controllers, or you can pass data back to a central control system. Energy consumption information can let you know how much energy was being used at different times of the day. If you find energy was being used in a certain area within a building which should have been unoccupied, you may be able to help save energy by automatically turning lights off at times of the day and only turning lights on if motion is detected. Temperature and humidity information can be logged or passed to monitoring systems with our DL100T series data loggers. They can store up to 4088 temperature and humidity records and support Modbus RTU protocol. Home automation enables you to create smart homes that can save energy, add convenience, and comfort to homes. You can set the curtains to open based on a schedule. You can turn the lights on automatically to wake you up in the morning. You can turn on your television from your phone. You can turn the lights on or off when you're away from home. You can use a PC or controller with a web server that's also on a Wi-Fi network to interface with smartphones for controlling lighting and home appliances. The web server allows you to access data from the application with a smartphone over the Wi-Fi network. You can create buttons to control each function from a touchscreen device. You can also make a button that turns everything off with the touch of one button. Building automation can help you to save money on energy usage, as you can trigger lights to turn on only when rooms are occupied, and you can make changes to your system based on collected information. The WinPack controllers can be used to collect information from equipment in different rooms and can also be used for the building automation control system. We provide free technical support and can also provide programming services if needed. I will now pass the meeting over to Robert, who will show a demonstration of Indiesoft's SCADA building automation system. Then we will answer questions, and we will ask the trivia questions.
Okay, hello all. Let's see, this is an Indiesoft project. This is the Building Automation Demonstration Program. Let's see, this one has many features, including the ability to show a security system, fire control, HVAC system, elevator, and lighting system statuses. We'll go through the demo, and if you have any questions, please feel free to type in the chat box or ask them at the end of the meeting. Are you all able to hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, for the security system, you have the ability to add a web camera. Map. For the security system, you can add a web camera, and you'd be able to see the status of each location.
Oh, I wanted to point out that this is a demo program that anybody can download, and they can also edit it to meet their application requirements.
Yes, and we can assist you with any programming needs if you want, and we also provide training. Let's see, for light control, you have the ability to turn objects on and off. This is just a demonstration. So for instance, if you wanted to turn your lights on, if you wanted to turn off the air conditioning, the HVAC system, you could do that as well. So you can control many things through SCADA. The limitations are just based on more on imagination. Let's see, for this, there's a map screen which shows you the layout of the building and has the different objects where you can click on and you can control. Like for instance, if you wanted to stop the escalator running for security purposes, or maybe the floor is wet or something, you want to prevent the automatic escalator from working. Summary. The summary shows you a status of all the different cameras, elevators, escalators, HVAC system, and lights. This, of course, can be customized if you don't have, for instance, HVAC in your application. This can be removed and this can be edited. So, this is a free software, or I'm sorry, a free demo program in which you can modify if it is very close to your needs. You can, for instance, take out the scheduling feature. The scheduling feature will allow you to set days and times for turning things on and turning things off. And you could also program in access control so that only certain users can access this data and change the status of the lighting turning on and turning off, setting the temperature, and various other features. The trend curve gives you an overview of everything graphically. Let's see, alarms. You can view if anything's been changed, if an alarm condition is triggered. For instance, if the temperature goes over a certain level and triggers an operation, you'd be able to see it through this screen. And you have the ability to log on and log off as different users, which again can have different accesses. Let's see, and then we have an exit button. But the main gist of it is right here. You can create a nice graphical representation of your building and you can control and monitor the whole building from one workstation. If anyone has any questions, please send those or type those in the chat box. Maria, I'm done.
Okay, no problem. Now we'll go over to the questions. The first question is, what are some things you can automate with building automation? Please type your answers into the chat box. That way we can determine who typed them in first, and that's how we can determine the winners. The two people with the top most correct answers will each get $25. And if you also have a question, then we can also answer those.
Did you specify how many things you want for question number 1, Maria?
No, there's no limit and no requirement.
Okay.
So that was question 1. And again, if you ask some questions, we'll just answer those after the questions are asked here. The second question is, what relay output device do we provide that enables you to turn infrared devices on and off? What relay output device do we provide that enables you to turn infrared devices on and off? Okay, question 3. What development package do we provide for designing and programming touchpad touchscreen controllers? What development package do we provide for designing and programming touchpad touchscreen controllers? Go ahead and answer your, put your answers directly into the chat box to send them. And the last question is, what building automation SCADA package did Robert show? What building automation SCADA package did Robert show? Okay, so we'll go ahead and address the question. Ken asked, do you have a product to communicate to SCE smart meter to turn off loads?
That I'm not sure on.
I mean, for example,
I'd have to see what protocol they communicate with.
Yes.
So we can certainly send an email
Okay.
response.
Okay, yes, Ken, if you can please send us some information about what SCE smart meter they use, so we can find out about the protocol, and then we can also let you know more about that, and then we can better answer your question. So we'll also follow up with you after the meeting. Another question. Okay, so Tom said he thinks they use Zigbee.
Oh, okay, we do have Zigbee interfaces, yes. Depending on, well, I guess it would be Zigbee Alliance. If we do have devices which can interface with them.
Okay, and so in particular to turn off the loads. I think if you can give us more information about the equipment that they're using, then we'll be able to help you to find out. Ken said SCE uses SMS protocol.
SMS protocol?
Yes, Ken. Do you mean like short message service? Okay, he does mean yes. So yeah, for example, you can read string data with software, like with Indusoft. You can read in the string data and you can implement actions based on the input string data. And so we would probably need to know what is required to actually turn off the load. Right, Robert?
We have GT530, which receives and sends text messages and controls, say, lights and is a relay module.
Yeah, so that might be a product that could be used for that.
Yeah, if it's the relay module you're looking for. If you're looking for the device to send the text messages, then that's a different product.
Okay, but we'll definitely discuss that with you in greater detail so we can best help you with the complete solution. And then if anybody has any answers to the trivia questions at any time, you can type them in the chat box now, or after the meeting you can also send them in by email. So thank you so much for attending our webinar today. If you have any other questions or answers to the trivia question, please reply to the newsletter so we can help you. And thank you so much for attending. And I hope
thank you. I'll see you next time.
See you next time. Bye-bye.